For this series, I will be using this very nice fuel hauler from SolCommand at SolCommand.com. The link will be available below. And I will also be using this freighter, which I will be showing the second set of materials and importing and exporting different parts of the model to other scenes. Okay, we have Mod Tool open and we're just going to import SolCommand's model now. So we'll go to File, Import, .object, and hit the Browse button to where you downloaded the file. I keep all my models in the Scenes folder, and I made one for SolCommand because I have a few. And we'll go to the fuel hauler and double click the object. Now, import as clusters, that I very rarely use it, is if you're importing like parts, like another gun or something from another scene. And no hierarchy. These check marks here, I might uncheck all these if I'm importing the object into a shield scene. It just saves you from cleaning up all the stuff that it imports. All you want is the mesh to sort of scale the shield. So it should be all default here like this, and we'll click OK. Now you can see we can't really see the ships in the viewports, so we can mouse over each one and click A to center the object on the scene, on the window, and mouse over to this one, press A again. Now you can also press G. We don't really need the grids in these scenes, so I'll just press G to get rid of the grid. A, G, A, G. Now this bottom window is the one we need to orient the ship to. This side, the left side of this window, will be the front of the ship. This side will be the back, and obviously this will be the top, and this will be the bottom. Now we can see the ship is not oriented correctly, so we can expand this window here by clicking this, and we can start with the rotate. Now if you want, you can just click separate rotations. This will only allow, I'll select the model and select this one. This will only allow the red axis to turn, and consequently with all these, I want all of them. I want to be able to see. So one thing, this is off on 2 axes, I can see. So a lot of times this could be a little strange to do. So let's just try 90 on this one. Now maybe let's try the yellow. Move that up like this, and you can see the Z-axis is changing. So let's try that one at 90. There we go. And we can press A to center, and that looks right. The engines are on the back. This is the top of the ship, and this is the front of the ship. Now we can hit spacebar to go back to object mode, which you can see up here what mode you're in at the top. And we can press A again, A, make sure they're all centered up. Now one thing you want to make sure when you're exporting your mesh is all these are zeroed out. So how to do that, we click on transform, and we want freeze all transforms. Now all we did was rotation, so you could just use that, but typically I just use freeze all transforms. Now you can see these are all zeroed out. The scale is 1 to 1 to 1. Now let's look at the, I'm going to hold the S key to rotate this around, and you can see the grid is way down below the ship. Now typically in scenes we want that grid in the center of the ship. So now we're going to go to transform. We got the whole model selected. Now you can see why, like, it's going to want to do everything from this center point. So if we lower that down, center this in the screen again, and down here we can press G to bring up the grid again, and you can sort of see this dark line is the center. Press G. So now we can move on the yellow axis here. Let's bring it maybe to there. And on the side axis, let's bring it down to maybe there. Press A again to center it. Let's see. This is sort of a judgment call, but now you can see these are not 0 anymore. If we go to transform, freeze all transforms again, now you can see the movement, the transform arrows are in the center, and we'll press A, and now we don't need the grids anymore, so let's press G, and you can see the grid is in here. So let's press G again, get rid of that one. Now let's change the view to, so we can sort it, we're not seeing through the model anymore, so I'll go, let's try shaded. And you can start to see the model, how it'll look. Now typically once I got this done, I'll expand this screen here. Now, before we move on, I'm going to rename this object in the Explorer and save the scene. So to bring up the Explorer, we're going to press the 8 key, not the 8 on the keypad. And here you can see the object. I'm going to double click this to bring up the property window. And I'm going to name it TARD. And this is a fuel hauler, so this is in the not on page section of the entity. So N and fuel hauler. Now I'm going to select this, Control and C to copy it, and I'm going to go to File, Save As, and the tardigrade fuel hauler, Control and V, and press Enter. Now we'll move on to end-sighted polygons in the next video.